Alrighty. Everything working there. Audio's checked. And that works. Cool. We are live. And as you can see, I've got everything a little more zoomed out than normal today. Building bases. Because that's basically the next part I need to do for the army. I have assembled some random junk. Well, those are the heads that I've got to paint still, but random junk. Gonna glue this onto some bases. Don't really have a plan. Kind of just gonna do it as, well, throw stuff together and see what happens. I will be filling gaps with the texture paste. That's going to then need like a day or two to dry properly. I won't be streaming again until Monday, so that shouldn't be an issue for me. Over the weekend I will prime bases because most stuff will need priming. And Monday and maybe Tuesday, I think, they're the only days I can stream next week. So we'll finish the bases then, and I'll be working on the heads and stuff outside of that. Yeah, we might as well crack on. Like I said, this is just some all sorts of random stuff. So some tubes, some I-beams, some corner beams, little rock molds. There's a Space Marine backpack and a Rhino side door, cereal box, cork, random pieces. So yeah, we're just going to try and throw it together and see what we can come up with. I don't have any sort of plan on how much stuff should be on bases and anything like that. It's just gonna do it. Ooh, actually, before I try and do that, can a bike actually fit on there with that on there? Oh yeah, handy. Plenty of space. There. Haha. Actually. There. I'll just tear up some cork for this last one. Like I said, there's no real plan, it's just slap stuff on and see how it goes. I do know with the stems here, I'm going to need to mask them off before I worry about priming them and stuff. That one doesn't quite cover an entire base, so we'll snap that there. Because, you know, some bases just need a tactical rock. Seal that edge a little bit with some glue. My nose has been really freaking runny again. Get to leave the house today. I'm going to go out and see Quantumania. Mrs. paid for tickets to go see. So with the bases, I'm going to prime them black and then paint them with Skaven Blight Dinge. And then I can come back in later and add extra stuff, like I've got little bricks and stuff here, tufts, stuff that should be on top of the bases rather than sort of, I guess that piece doesn't go in there. Yeah, stuff that should be on top of the bases, on top of the dirt, instead of half buried. I'm also not really paying attention to the feet and positioning and stuff on each base, because as I do it, I'll try and keep everything as even as possible, so that it won't matter who's on what base. Can an entire Rhino door fit on? Yeah. So, just put an entire freaking Rhino door on a base. Someone will stand on top of that, surely. This one can have the backpack. All the Space Marine parts will be painted blue, because any Space Marine casualty should be an Ultramarine casualty. And it's the only way I can stomach painting blue, is if it's a dead dude. Let's snip off some of these pieces. Yeah, we'll snip off a different one, and this time I won't launch it across the room. Yeah, no plan, just do this. And then I can worry about how I'm going to break it up and add extra details later. Some short ones. Some corner ones. Where's my scissors? Over here. And even this sponge, if you've seen my videos on, well, the video for my road bases, you'll know how I use this stuff. So this will be for some, like, some of these guys are going to be standing on the side of the road. I'll worry about actually sorting it out properly later, like cutting it out. This dude can be fully on the road. Because super glue is not going to take a long time to dry, so I can come back and fix it up. Broken stick. Don't know where they're getting wood from in a 40k city. Screw it. Maybe someone had a nice table that's been broken up. So a pipe there, maybe a stone there, and it's very chaotic. Then when it comes to doing the tufts and stuff like that, that's just going to be a way for me to fill in space. So, you know, maybe one of the rocks gets a little lost in the texture paste. By putting some tufts and stuff on there as well, I can still make the base look full. Let's see. Insert girder. I also got this stuff which is plastic card sheets, but it's with a tile pattern on it. Where did that launch to? Damn, wherever it wasn't launched. It launched well. Here, you can use some of this. Actually, maybe this can go here. Maybe this, those cork sheets there, maybe that's some concrete from a building. Maybe that's how that's going to tie in. And this can go there, and that should leave space for a guy to stand behind it. Another one with some rocks. Again, not being too careful with the rocks. This here, maybe it'll be some metal sheeting. It'll have a very similar texture. So maybe there's just a big flat steel sheet across here. Also, there's donuts on the bench for you. Once that dries, I can clip around it. So this one should hopefully be dry enough. With the road bases you've seen before, that I used some Mod Podge to help seal it. So it'll be the same thing here again. Not really going to do anything too special. When I did do the road bases, I did like trim this stuff up so there was cracks and stuff through it. I'm not going to bother with that here today. Mainly because that's not the focus of these bases. They're not bikes riding down a road. throw the rubbish on the ground, I'll fix it up later. That's dried, so I can trim the edge there. Actually, where did I just put that glue? Over there. Maybe to sell that's a steel sheet, we should put a steel pipe across as well. So the only thing most of these bases are going to have in common is the texture paste, and that's completely fine. Throw some. The colours that we use and the texture paste being, well, the same texture is the only selling point we're going to need. Work out which ones are going to be the driest, and we can start slapping some paste down. So this one probably first. I'm sure you've all seen these sort of texture pastes before. Where is... Normally you would scoop them around and stuff like that. Some of these, because I want it thinner, I'm just gonna grab a paintbrush and just paint it around. It's okay for it to be pretty thin, the texture will just sit on top. After it dries all dry, I will go around the edges, the rims of the bases to tidy it up. That's normally done. Normally I just do that with like a file. Drop of water to help the spread. This one can go next. And this is as quick and easy as bases can be. There is more complicated stuff you can do. Like if I really wanted to, I could try and find some spots where I could add some UV resin for some like still water and stuff like that. I don't think I need to. Just try and clean off my hands because there's loads of junk on them. This one here. There are a couple of bases where I'm going to have to add more stuff on, so I'll probably scoop, which is mainly the two bases that have a little bit of red on them and not much else. These ones, because I'm going to try and build up the texture paste to be closer to this level. Doesn't matter if some of it gets on to the metal parts. At worst I can just throw some orange washes on there and be like, hey, that's, yeah, just rust. Overly exaggerated rust. Just add a little bit more of the texture under there. Now, this is not going to score me max. I don't think this will score me maximum points for basing effort at the event. I really don't. I'm okay with that. It's going to make the army look complete, and sometimes that's all you're going to do with your basing. It's not always going to be about maximum effort, maximum reward. So normally I would do a stream on Friday, but I'm going to be taking a trip to Melbourne because my dad's in hospital. So I'm going to be heading down there to see him. Take my mum down there for the day. Thursdays I don't normally stream because I've got Claire. Back into the other lounge room, please, Claire. Into the other lounge room, please, Claire. You're not supposed to be out here. Kids. Yeah, the tufts and flowers and stuff like that will get probably added on at the very last, after the models have been put on the bases. I may put one or two as if they're being trampled, but the majority of everything is going to be put on afterwards, so that it clearly stands where it is. Oop. I'll probably add an extra coat to this later, after it's all dried. See how it goes. We're nearly finished already. It doesn't take that long. I mean, I know I try and rush things as much as I can with every job I'm doing. That's partly because that's what I want to show people. Not everything has to be a long, drawn-out, 40-hour process. If you can knock something out in an hour, do it. I'm going to need to buy another pot of this paint at some point. Try and get some there. And especially if you're doing like city basing and stuff like that, just keep some random stuff laying around. aquarium rocks and the little brick stuff that I picked up off eBay, and you know, there's no shortage of stuff you can use, and the way you paint it will help hide what it was. These plasticard tiles, I can paint them up as if they're metal, and then they become something completely different, or I can paint them up in a tan colour and they'll be tile. Sponge is being completely hidden for what it is. The cardboard box will be hidden. It really just gives you an opportunity to make whatever you want. And I've gone so fast that I barely even hit the 30-minute mark on the stream, and I'm done. I have some spare sponge there. I can use that to clean my hand. See? Using other stuff. I think it's going to be a got some sanitizer to try and break down all the paint, but yeah. So yeah, until all this dries, there's not much more I can do. I can grab some tissue or whatever and wipe down the edges of the bases, but for the most part, because of all the stuff that's on the bases and the fact that I've been pretty slap happy with it, it's going to be a lot easier for me to just clean it off after the bases are dried. After they're dried before they've been primed. Whoop. That piece just fell off there. I don't even know if that was supposed to be on this base. Some of it has got onto the stand there, so I'll just clean that down. And if I grab a Q-tip and dry it off, that'll stay nice and clean for priming. When I do prime, I will just wrap some masking tape around the stand. That way it doesn't get too much paint on it. But yeah, little effort, plenty of reward. I'm going to end it there, and we'll see you next week. Have a good one, folks.